Welcome to Chosen Change Podcast. It's Josh. Here, my brother Rob.
Back.
Season 2. Took about 4 months off?
Yeah, took a little bit of time off. I think looking back on season 1, we had a lot of great stories, met a lot of great people, but I think we needed some time to kind of see how we were going to come back on season 2. And it's kind of funny how God works, because I feel like we didn't know when to come back and we didn't have the perfect date, but we talked about it last week and we're like, all right, we're going to record this week. We do have a couple guests that are ready to go, but with everything that's happened in the last few days, I felt like it was appropriate just to have us alone and just kind of talk about everything. So God works a lot, God works the right way, and we're just here to kind of tell what it is. So
definitely. We were supposed to start off season 2 with a guest right off the rip. But like you said, God has different plans, and we are no one to try and alter those plans. So we can probably get into a recap of just what these last 4 months have done as far as positivity, and then we kind of get into the heavy stuff that we got going on.
Absolutely. Let's do it. I think last 4 months, let's see what's happened. Well, I think a lot of the team and the 1GM squad, we've really bonded, united. We had a retreat in Arizona, which is phenomenal. We talked about, the main focus was surrendering your life, surrendering everything you do. Why we all hold back and wait for the right moment, I really don't know, but we really emphasized how we're going to surrender from that point on. We did a hike, we did some training, we went to church, and it was a really good experience. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of people out there. Majority of the team, I think everybody but 2 people were able to make it. I think physically, looking at the episode now, seeing you and I versus the past episodes, we've made some transformation. We're skinnier, a little bit better shape.
Sure.
We feel better mentally, physically. Mm-hmm. Although we're not perfect men and we're not perfect people, I think we're striving for a better life. So when we do get to heaven and we're on our way to heaven, we know that we did enough and we did the right thing. So that's kind of my vision of the recap.
For sure. I think looking back at the pictures of everyone that we had, obviously, we had some of the boys come in early, got to do some bonding. That's always good to get some good bonding before it was, serious time, right? It was time because everyone may think the retreat was fun and the retreat was cool, and it was all dandy, and no, it was not. We're talking 9-10 hours of sleep, just straight on the go. But tons of direction, tons of surrendering. But to see that Sunday, and to see just the amount of people we got to go to church,
it was cool.
Probably about 50 of us total.
It was a lot.
It was a lot of people. It's just now to get to people here in Albuquerque to go to church, that's one thing. But to go six hours and to drive 6 hours and get 50 people together to go to a different church it's kind of unheard of. But I think that's one that speaks to the people we have around us.
For sure.
But it also speaks to the vision and the movement that we have, you know what I mean?
No, I agree.
And being disciples and leading people to God, because honestly, I never would have thought I went to Arizona to go to something like
that.
Ever.
No one really goes to church out of town,
Yeah, or nothing. But I mean, the hike, workout at 5 o'clock in the morning, like
that was crazy.
But honestly, like you said, the theme was about surrender, but it's not like a surrender and wait. It's a surrender with urgency. And we're going to talk about that. I definitely want to get on that because it's such a oxymoron thing, right? Where you're like, well, what do you mean surrender? But
I think when you speak urgency, people think that means panic.
Yeah.
Urgent, or that you don't have faith and hope in God because you're trying to do something so fast. But in my opinion, having faith urgency means that you want to do it now because you know that your life on this world is very limited. Mm-hmm. So it's okay to do things urgently because you understand that this isn't the life that we're trying to live. This is our temporary short life. And we know that life can be taken from us so fast. I have to be urgent with speaking of my faith, urgent with making relationships better, urgent with making new relationships, and just having urgency in everything that I do. So yeah, I think it is. Most people think urgency and they're like, man, that person's panicking, but it's not panic. It's
go.
It's a healthy urgency.
no direction.
And even the sermon, that church that we had in Arizona, it could have been about tithing and whatever his message was. We had no idea. We just walked in, went to church, but the message aligned perfectly with the weekend that we had.
Surrender.
It was about surrender.
Letting go.
And you just can't plan that.
No,
you know?
I'm telling you, you can't. From the sermon to DK to just the things that we've been preaching on the walks and just in life in general, it was all about surrender. It was all about letting go.
And it's been quiet, right? I think we've had 4 months of not being on social media, not really saying a whole lot, not doing a whole lot. I think a lot of people were seeing what we were doing, and it was kind of bothering them, not only on the podcast, but with the 1GM. Won't get into details on that, but for those people, because they're going to watch this too, because they want to see if we make them relevant. I want them to know that it didn't work. You praying on our downfall only made us stronger. It made us unite even more in the dark. So when we do shine again, we knew that it was with the right intentions, which we had them before. But I'm sorry, but just want to let you know you failed.
This is it. It was, you gave us time to calibrate. You know what I mean? Like, and build. And that's more scary, because now it's like, okay, we have to be quiet. So where are we lacking and where can we focus on?
Yes.
I mean, in those 3-4 months.
Honestly, I thank those people. I thank those people for calling me out on things I had to fix in order to make it legit. The thing is, why do people feel like they have to judge other people to make themselves successful? Whole different podcast, whole other conversation, but I won't give them enough attention because honestly, you don't deserve it. You're watching our video for a reason.
Let's look at it in the positive way. We were able to look at ourselves. How can we improve career, fitness?
Yeah.
Otherwise, our podcast. I mean, what are some things that we can do to make the podcast better?
Yeah.
What are some ways we can have 1GM go to the next level? Obviously, we got that going. How can we get in better shape? I know in the last 3-4 months, I've lost, 25 pounds, 30 pounds. So
total of what?
Total of 62 pounds.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
it's crazy.
And
you can see it. You can feel it. And if you can feel it,
man,
and the job's not done, we're still going. I want to get in the best shape of my life. I don't know. I said it.
39 is crazy.
It is 39, and it'll probably be 42. And that's 42 is a number that when my father passed away, that's always been the goal number that I said I would achieve everything that I wanted to achieve in my life. So it's down to 3. That's why the urgency is so heavy. I have 3 years to do it. And with things that just happened as well, more urgency, more of a reason. So, I'm with it.
Let's get right into it. And I think, you have no other right than to, start it off, with the news of your brother.
I definitely want to dedicate this podcast to him. My younger brother, Devin Abeta, passed away this last Saturday. I believe it was June 27th. Me and my mom didn't find out till the Sunday after, but he was killed he was at a party hanging out. Some people went over, shot up the place. He ended up, 3 people got shot, 2 were injured, 1 was dead. Unfortunately, he was the one that passed away. So I want to dedicate this to him. I wanted to get on and speak some things about him and just talk about everything I've been feeling in the last 5 days. I feel like I haven't even really been able to accept it, but every day there's something new that I learn in the lesson. So definitely want to do this. I want to make it proud. I want to do it as a legacy. Everything that I do going forward will be in a legacy for him and all the other people in my life that have passed. But this whole podcast of Chosen to Change, it's not that something happens to you once and then you change and you move on. There's going to be more and occurring things that happen in your life. Like I'm going to have more Chosen to Change moments, and I'm going through one right now. So it's a perfect thing to talk about. And I feel like it's a perfect way to me express and for me to kind of grieve how everything is. So I'm ready for everything you have lined up for me. So let's get it going.
Yeah. So, I mean, your brother is 23 years young. I met your brother probably about 6-7 times. You can see he was kind of in that limbo stage, right? Like he almost had fear to let go of, I don't want to say the people, but maybe the life, He was still very, he was curious just from our conversations.
No, he was.
Just, hey, how do you get it going? how do you start? What got you motivated? Obviously, you guys had two different lives, so the motivation was hard. I mean, if you kind of just want to recap maybe a little bit on the conversations you have and how you guys,
Yeah. Well, I mean, our relationship, I believe I was 16 when he was born. So we've always had a big age gap. We didn't grow up together. But for me, it was like having a young son, being a high school senior, having a baby brother. It was really cool to see when I leave, he'll be able to be there with my mom. So it's almost like he replaced me because it was just me and my mom growing up. And really cool kid, everything opposite of me. He is very loving, very outgoing. Man, the dude loved and had a passion for music, for dancing, like not one shy bone in him. He felt like he was that person that could be in any environment and just make it his. Like he didn't look at a bad scenario and be like, man, I shouldn't be there. Like, what if there's bad people? He probably thought to himself, like, well, there might be bad people there, but I'm not a bad person, so I'm gonna come into the party and I'm gonna lighten it up. Maybe they'll let me connect to the speaker. I'll play some music. Like, let's have a good time. So he was a very nice guy, man. Very soft, loving, caring, big, gentle giant, bigger than me. I'd always tease him and say, "You're my little brother, but just because you're bigger, don't mean you ain't shit,"
the little big brother.
Yeah, for sure. And so that's who he was. That's who Devin was. Everybody loved him. Everybody always had a funny memory about him. But yeah, over the last 6 months, I would say our relationship has always been a little distant, but it's only because I wanted the best for him. I didn't want to just give him anything he asked for, everything he needed. He'd call me like, "Hey brother, do you know who's hiring?" I'm like, "Yeah, like get a job." Well, do you know, what's the motivation? What's the magic word? What can I do? Like he would tell me word for word, "I got a good job. I make about a rack a week. Like I'm doing good." I'm like, "That's cool. Like it's cool that you think you're doing good because you make a certain amount of money a week, but it's not about what you're making. Like what are you doing? Who are you hanging out with?" I would tell him, "Look, are you in shape? Are you out of shape? Get it. You need to get a haircut." And that was the first walk we took. And then he came back a couple days later. He had a haircut, right? He wanted to impress me that he was figuring it out. And he bought a car. I don't know if you remember the first time he walked with us, I made him Uber because I wanted him to understand, if you want to be here and do this, I need to see your commitment. Second time he came back, he had a car. "Check it out, bro. I picked up this car, but got it for, whatever, a couple $1,000. I'm like, "All right, like, I see you. I see that you're,"
Starting to change.
yeah. And he wanted me to be proud of him. And I was proud of him, but I didn't want him to know I was proud of him. So our conversations, the last time we talked was about 3 weeks ago, and he asked me like, "Hey, bro, can I ask you a question?" I'm like, "What? What was it for you that helped you get to the next level?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Like, I told him I don't think I have a magic answer for you, but it takes consistency, working hard,
Showing
and
up.
having faith and showing up." And he was like, "Okay, okay." He said, let me see if I have the message, and I'll read his verbatim word for word. Um, I was able to screenshot it because you don't realize these messages until people pass away, how crucial they are and how much you want to hang on to them.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of in that phase where I'm screenshotting everything we talked about. He says, "Yeah, you're way different than me. Like I broke a lot of the bad habits I have, but I feel like I could do so much better. Like I want to do more and I'm thinking how I can do more, but I'm not sure what I can do to have a better mindset." And that was the last message I got from him. So the wheels were spinning. He was 23.
He was in
I
that
mean,
moment of having a chosen change.
he was.
He just didn't know what that change looked like, or
Right.
he didn't know. He didn't have nothing to shove him into that.
Right. And he wasn't a bad guy. He wasn't in jail. He didn't do drugs. Like I'm sure he partied and drank a little bit like anyone at 23 was.
years old.
But he was working. He was, living his life, and he was figuring it out on his own. Like we both lived in Albuquerque, but we were living two separate lives. Different ages. I have a family, wife, kids. He's 23. I'm not gonna hang out with the 23-year-old at any point. So I think it's just sad, it's sad to see that he doesn't have that chance to figure it out. He didn't find that change moment, even though he was thinking in his head and he knew he needed to switch something up. He'll never be able to do that in this life.
Well, for sure. And I mean, unfortunately, I think this hardest part about it, right? And I mean, I try to put myself in your shoes, like we talked about. I have a little brother that's 23 years old, 23 years old too.
That's crazy.
And him and I mean, we're close, but you know, we're not like amazingly
Right.
close. Like we don't text every day, we don't
Right.
talk every day, but you know, whenever I have something or he has something. So I just I can relate to you on that because I would probably be devastated if, you know what I mean, my little brother passed away for sure.
I mean, the things I feel, could I have done more? Should I have done more?
Yeah.
Could I have pulled him out of the situation he was at? Could I, like anyone, when someone passes away, they wish they could have spent more time with them. But I was trying to lead by example, not by mouth. I tried to lead by my actions and my life, hoping that, at 25, 28, maybe he was going to have a baby or
Yeah.
get married. Like, it would have been a moment where he would have grown into it, and then we could have like linked together, and then he could have been part of 1GM because he would have been ready for it. But
Yeah.
he wasn't ready for it.
Well,
You know?
I think to that, right? Dang. I lost what I was gonna say, but I think it was shoot.
Hmm.
I can't remember the question. But I mean, I just think like life is short, and or no, that's what it was. You said you led by example, and you wished, you know, or there's woulda, coulda, shouldas in
Yeah.
your mind. But I think you leading by example, that's why he was comfortable enough to go to you for those questions.
Hmm.
That's why he was like, "Hey, how did you do it?" That's what sparked the curiosity because he looked at his older brother and he was like, "Okay, well, if this guy got it figured out."
Yeah.
And he didn't have the resources that I had. Like,
Right.
let me use him as a resource. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think so. I think maybe you not speaking about it, but you showing it, and I think that's what you're good at all around. Is I'm gonna show you rather than tell you.
Mhm. Well, a lot of people talk about changes and then they end up being exactly the same. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's fraud, right? And not that I haven't been guilty of that too, but I like to, if we're going to go to war, I'm first. I
Mm-hmm.
ain't last. That's for damn sure.
Iron
Just, just,
sharpens iron.
just a mindset, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. No,
But,
for sure.
it's just been a rough few days, understanding those conversations, thinking of all the past memories. And there's so many that I think I forget. And even seeing like pictures of him as a younger guy, younger kid, like it was,
Oh.
it was a trip, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because we didn't talk every day, but I knew he could call me, I could call him if we needed something. It still hasn't sunk in that he's not going to call me or I'm not going to call him. Like, maybe until his funeral services and we lay him to rest, um, maybe the reality will be a little bit more. But I'm still in this
Sure.
spunk of like, stay busy,
Well, it's
keep
kind
your
of
life. Like, I've just been staying really busy.
denial, I guess. You know what I
It
mean?
is. It's the same way I felt with my dad and my grandpa, though. Like,
Yeah.
I was 19 with my father, 32, 33 with my grandfather, and now I'm 38, almost 30. Like, this keeps happening in my life.
I think not the cool thing, but the cool thing about it is you have text messages from him.
Yeah.
So you can always go back. I'm sure whenever your dad was around or your dad passed away and your grandpa passed
No, I don't have anything.
there was nothing, right? Like I know I had my grandpa passed away probably about 12 years ago and or probably about 10 years ago this year. And I had a voicemail and I had it on every single phone I've ever had. And it was just he just called me Wiener for whatever reason. But he was like, hey, Wiener, just wanted to call you to tell you I love you. Like, and I kept that, and I would play that all the time.
Yeah, I just
All
heard
the
his
time.
voice.
Just to hear his voice.
Yeah.
And this phone that I had now, that was the last thing I didn't check. And usually every phone, like I make sure before I wipe it, I have that I have that voicemail. And not having that voicemail, like it
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I have the video with my grandma that I shared at the
Yeah.
1GM team, and that always sparks a little, emotion and motivation out of me. But you're right, I don't have anything for my father. For my brother, even some of his friends have sent some videos of him like partying and dancing and singing, and just reminding me. I already knew how he was, but
Yeah, but no,
just seeing it was
it's cool
cool.
to have.
A couple months ago, he got a tattoo on his neck, and he was all proud. So he had sent one of his friends a few pictures of it, just a bunch of selfies with his neck tattoo. I'm just like, this dude's funny. Like, I can just imagine how he was. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
he was proud of it. But
So I think
yeah,
one question I have. So I mean, if there's obviously you can't give your brother advice, unfortunately, anymore. If there's someone out there like him that's watching this podcast, what is just a snip of advice that you give them?
number one, make sure you have a relationship with God, because You don't know when your time is up.
Mhm.
A lot of us think we get older and we have that relationship and you build into it and you grow into it. And one day I'll go to church, one day I'll read my Bible. I know God loves me. He does love you, but you have to have that relationship with God. And he was a believer. I don't know his practices, and I can't say I know how he prayed and all that. But the tattoo I talk about was the 3 crosses on his neck. Um, and I would just tell somebody out there, stop waiting
Mm.
to make it right. Go to church, get your faith up, believe in him. So if you are gone and you are taken and you're the lucky one that gets to go to heaven, you for sure get a ticket in.
You know, I look back to when I was 23 years old. Um, I had faith in, but I didn't have a relationship, right?
Mm-mm.
And I don't, I personally don't know if I would go to heaven.
Yeah.
23 years old. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I was a good guy. I didn't do nothing wrong.
I mean, I'm 38 and I still doubt
Yeah,
if I'm accepted in heaven
yeah, no. So I mean, but
with the
just,
faith.
you know,
Yeah.
15 years ago,
Yeah.
it's crazy to look back on how far you came, and I think that ties back into surrender with urgency. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like that's where we'll pivot next.
Yeah.
Is just
Surrender hard.
surrender and give it to him with the faith, but obviously you still got to put in the work.
For sure.
And I think as long as you show up,
That's it. I mean,
and as long as
everything else, right? Like live your life to the fullest, live like you're dying. Like those are all cool metaphors, but in reality, we all wake up tired, grumpy, got to go to work, got to do the day to day stuff.
go
Like
to
it's
walk.
hard to really have this unless you have a lot of money and you don't have to work and you can just vacation or do whatever you want every single day. Like the reality is, our days don't look very eventful unless you make it special, and that's why even with our team, my message every day is the same thing. Is it one day or is it day one?
Mhm.
One day I'll get it right. One day I'll fix this. One day, dude, how many more days does my brother have? You know,
Unfortunately, no,
it's day one. It's today I'll get in shape. Today I'll take that walk.
Mhm.
Today I'll read that devotional. Today I'll make that relationship that I've been thinking about calling to fix. I'll make it right. Today's a day that I'm going to make it happen and do the best of it. And can you be perfect in a day? Absolutely not.
No.
But then you get tomorrow, hopefully, and you can fix what you left behind.
I,
That's my analogy. Like I'm literally living by that. And I felt that way last week. He passed away over the weekend, and it's definitely intensified
for sure.
me for thinking
I've
like
seen
that.
it.
Yeah.
I've seen it more. Just this week, obviously Monday, you know, walk in the gym.
Even taking that walk, right? Like Sunday, we found out Sunday
Afternoon.
afternoon, I think 7, 8 o'clock, we finally got confirmation with the morgue that it was him. My poor mom has been dealing with it, and I was talking to her all night, and went to bed at 2 in the morning or something like that. Couldn't sleep. Woke up 3:30, 4, and it's like, all right, like I gotta go on the walk. It would have been easy to be like, no, man, my brother just passed away. I'm gonna sleep in. I'm gonna figure this out. Like that's just not how I get down. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of the team showed up for me, and I do heavily appreciate it. And I didn't want to make it weird, and I didn't want to talk about that the whole time because I wanted as much normalcy as I possibly could in that short amount of time. But that was me responding the way I know how to respond.
Show up.
Show up. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that. And I know that walk was definitely something that was special and it was needed for sure. But I think if you look at those days and you look at the hard days, right? Those are the days that mold you. Those
Mhm.
are the days that mold you to the future. Because if you could do it on the hard days, you could do it on the days you don't want to do it. You can do it on the days where you got 6 hours of sleep.
For
You
sure.
got 10 hours of sleep. Whatever it is, life is flowing.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think let's get into back to your brother, right? And he had this moment where he's curiosity, he's curious and he's starting to ask the right questions, starting to kind of figure out what do you think like a chosen to change moment looks like? What what is that? Like you're in the middle of it. Obviously, you probably don't understand that you're in the middle of a chosen to change moment. You know,
Mm,
what do you think like a chosen to change moment is for you? Obviously, you're in one right now.
yeah,
So
I think it always comes unexpected. It always comes with a lot of questions and doubts, and you always want to kind of play victim. Like, why? Like, why is this happening to me? Like, you hear about, unfortunately, the city we live in, there's shootings every weekend, and unfortunately, victims die of gun violence a little too often. But it never hits you home, never hits you personally. So you pray for them. You're like, dang, that sucks. Like, I'll make sure to avoid that side of town. But when it hits you and it's your family, your brother, you think of like, what were that person's intentions? Was it intentional? Um, should he not have been there? Should I have told him? Like, you just start doubting everything. So I guess when you're in these moments, you don't know you're in there,
mm-hmm.
and you just doubt a lot of things. When I was younger and dealing with the other two losses in my life, especially my dad, the reason that one was so huge for me is because I did not have a faith. I didn't have people around me that were guiding me in the right way. I didn't have a wife that loved me and told me things would be okay. I let the world heal me and not God. So I would say I'm stronger now because of my faith. I understand that he's a lucky one that's in heaven dancing and singing and doing the stuff he loves to do. And you know, I know how he would feel about me and our mom, and he would really want us to move on in a healthy way and just honor him. He wouldn't want us to be sad about him. So I don't know. The change moment happens and you don't know until maybe you figure it out afterwards of what you went through. But
Started seeing the light.
yeah, but it's a lot of doubt, a lot of questioning everything about your life as far as your routine, the people you're around, the people you talk to, the things, the habits that you have. You feel like you have to redefine everything when in reality, the moment's going to happen to you regardless of what it is that you're doing in your life. The moment's going to hit you. Death is going to hit you. It's going to hit all of us. So someone's got to go. We're all on a
Right.
borrowed time. So why am I going to use that as a victim mentality for myself to hold me back from serving people, from loving on people, from making relationships, from making the relationships I had in my life 10 times better. So
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a weird moment for sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely think like a chosen to change moment is going through the fire, right? And it's like, but I don't think it's not the fire that's the issue, or it's not the fire that's the reason. I think the reason is the questions you ask yourself while you're in the fire or while you're burning or while you're
Yeah.
drowning, right? It's like instead of the victim, well, why me? It's okay, what are you teaching me?
Yeah, for sure.
What why not me? What do I need to do better? What can I work on? And I know for me, obviously I didn't go through something like you like you're going through, but for the last 3 weeks, I had those moments, right? I was probably in a rut for about 2 months, just rut. And there was a moment where I just said, you know what? What is this teaching me? What do I got to work on?
Yeah.
What do I need to do?
Yeah.
And again, it's those questions you ask yourself that can you finally surrender, right? You ask him, what are you teaching me? What is this for? How are you trying to use me to better not only
Mm,
myself but to better the world? And I feel like the moment you start asking him questions like that, he starts to he starts to show you, right?
for
He
sure.
starts to open things up. And not only do you make yourself better, but you make the world better.
For sure. No, I agree. I agree, man. Something's hard to explain, but here we are, you know?
Yeah. No, for sure. I think we kind of touch on this too is in the middle of the grief and in the middle of everything you're going through, um, what does the faith look like for you?
I think it's the only reason that I've been able to be strong.
Mm.
So it's the only reason that I've been able to be strong, to be able to be encouraging to my mom. It's the reason that I've been able to understand that he is not gone forever. He's just gone from this world.
Mm.
I see this life as being the temporary, sinful life that isn't that great. And I know that where he's at is a lot better than where we're at.
Yeah.
So knowing that boldly, knowing that my faith is there for me, knowing that I have a lot of people in my life that have shown support for me and they are very strong in their faith. It's a reason that there was no drinking. There was no feel sorry for me. I'm going to go and do something outlandish because this happened to me. I posted about it as an obituary because I felt like it was appropriate. I didn't post about how it happened yet because it doesn't matter who killed him. Does it matter? I mean, yeah, do I want justice and do I want the person who shot him innocently to be responsible? 100%. But do I pray for that person too? Absolutely, because there's a reason that they were there with the gun in their hand, and that's something that they have to live with. And if they don't surrender their life, they won't make it to heaven. So, my faith, man, my faith has been the only reason that I'm able to even sit down a couple days later and talk about it and not just make it something I don't want to address. Because my dad, my grandpa, it took me a long time to really want to talk about things, and I want the people that see the video that are helping grieve my brother, including my mom, to know that it's going to be okay.
I think this time, just from the stories that you shared, right? A lot of those times you may have pulled back from V.
Yeah, for
And,
sure.
and
I question it all the
yeah,
time.
and you may have been like, all right, let me veer, let me drink, let me numb the pain, right? I think this time, just from now, it's like, all right, let me run to you instead of run away from you.
Well, it's always, you always think, why me? I'm doing everything right. I'm living the right way. I'm going to church. Why me? And it's like, dude, it ain't never been about me. Him being gone has nothing to do with me. It's not, this isn't because that has anything to do with what I've done or what I'm doing. He needed him more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And people have to see that if God takes one of his children home, like, we got to take him from other people. Like, that's just what it is. Like, it ain't got nothing to do with me.
You need it for something bigger.
Nothing could happen to me, you know. And I did, like, I would say, I believe it was up until Tuesday, I was trying to avoid thinking about it and just working and working. Monday, I went straight to work, had a long day. Tuesday, I had a conference in the morning. I didn't tell a lot of people. I went on with my day. And right after the conference, I had an appointment, which, dude, I really don't do appointments anymore. But someone asked me, hey, can you meet me at an appointment? I said, yeah, I got you. And a lot of the times I just click on an address and I go. And I was at Legacy Church and I clicked on the address of where I was going. It was 9 minutes from where I was. I'm like, bet, that's nice. I'm pretty close. So I hit go. I'm start calling people, whatever. I'm getting there and I'm 2 minutes away. And I'm like, where am I? I turn, I look up and I look at the street name. And I'm like, no fucking way. It's the same street that he got killed on. And I'm like, bro, I've never even been to this area. I pull in and immediately anxiety starts to kind of like butterfly up. And I get my gun on the side of my door and I put it on my lap. And I start to get angry a little bit. And I'm like, why? Why am I on this street? Why am I here? Because I never would have gone on my own. And the 4500 was the address, 4500 Blake. I was on 44 or something. So from where I was, it was right across the street. So I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to go over there. Drove across the street, gun in my lap. I just want to see his car still there. And didn't see anybody. And it didn't even matter if I did or didn't. But it was just seeing like where he got shot. Seeing that I'm there, I called my mom and I'm like, you'll never believe it. Like, a work estimate took me here. After I circled around one time for safety of my family, my own life, I just left. And I was like, hey, man, I'm sorry. I can't stay at this appointment with you. Like, it's just too much on my head. But I think God did that intentionally. God's like, you're trying to not see it. You're trying to move too fast. Mm-hmm. Let me put you in a spot where, like, you're strong. Like, your faith is strong. Like, you're going to be okay. I'm going to put you in a situation where you're uncomfortable only so you can understand, like, it's okay to grieve. It's okay to miss him. It's okay to accept it. Yeah. Because I was trying super fast to just not think about it, you know?
For sure.
I didn't post about it till Thursday. And it's because I didn't want it to be something that, like, I don't know. I guess that's where the emotions of the chosen to change, where somebody unemotional that's not going through it would be like, I would do it this way. I do it that way. Until you're the one going through it, you don't really understand how you're supposed to do things accordingly, you know?
I think for sure that I think God saw the way you were moving and you were just trying to keep your mind occupied,
Yeah.
right? Try not to think about it, try not to really grieve. And I think God humbled you and he's like, no, like,
Yeah.
me too.
That's crazy.
You need you. Like,
And even this last Sunday, went to a graduation party for Adi, and I pulled up, and I, like, of course, like for her, definitely would do anything for her. So we showed up on a Sundays for a birthday party or any kind of party. Nine out of 10 times I'm
yeah.
out,
Oh, yeah.
We pulled up. I'm like, all right, let's get down, hang out for a minute and leave. I pulled up, got out of my truck, and then I heard someone say, nice truck. And I'm like, what? It's my brother and my sister for my dad. Mind you, I have 3 siblings, my brother, my sister for my dad, and then my brother for my mom. I'm like, what are you guys doing here? Like, they live in Espanola. Like, why are you guys here? Oh, he's like, my girlfriend is cousins with Ariana. I'm like, of course they are. Small world.
Mm.
It's almost like I knew he knew I was be there, but I didn't know they were gonna be there. I hadn't seen them in like 6 months. So and it was good seeing them. I always love seeing them. It was unexpected. I wasn't the friendliest. In my head, I'm just like, I haven't seen you guys in 6 months. We haven't hung out, but you're going to show up to a graduation party for somebody else that you don't know. I was in my feelings a little bit, not in a bad way, just more of like, I knew we were missing time together. So to see my brother and sister that day, feel some type of way. And on the ride home, I told my wife, like, hey, like, she's like, you were kind of, standoffish. I'm like, I know I was. Like, I don't know why. Like, because I don't have anything against them. I'm not mad at them. But just when you react, you don't really know how you're reacting because you're in the moment. Drove home, thought about it. I was like, yeah, I gotta spend more time with them. I gotta make sure
Was that before or after you found out?
no, it was before. So that's about 6 p.m. So I got home,
Crazy.
started settling down, and that's when my mom called. She's like, hey, I can't find your brother. I was like, well, let me text him real quick. I'm like, yo, it went green, and I'm like, this dude always has his phone. That's when we started figuring it out, and with her friends, and he was at a party. There was a shooting at the party, and then someone had posted like "Long live Devin," and I'm like, no way, dude, no way. Figured it out, calling around. Finally, somehow we get to the morgue, and they're like, we have a body here. I'm like, okay, is it him? No identification. I'm like, well, how tall is he? Check. How much does he weigh? Check. Does he have 3 crosses on his neck, a tattoo? He's like, yeah, he does. And my mom just lost it. And I'm like, fuck, dude, that's him. He's like, I'm 99% sure this is him. But we can't say nothing. We don't know. Right now it's still an open case. So for anyone listening, if, they want to get on Crime Stoppers or all of that and figure out how to find the person in charge, it's not something that I'm going to take charge of because I don't know. Not something I want to emotionally invest my effort in right now. I care and I want it to be justified, but I don't know if I'm able to really go that route yet,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a crazy Sunday, But
Yeah.
God just keeps working on me,
Yeah, so saying like I think if you look at it, what he did before you even knew, he put something in front of your face,
Right.
and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna put these," and then you're gonna feel a certain type of way about it, but then I'm gonna shift that right once you find out this news,
Right.
and then now you're like, "Dang, okay, I need to
Yeah.
pour into."
That's why I say it's hard to tell you like how everything is when it's happening to me.
It's just
what I'm going through.
quick.
I don't know,
For sure.
Maybe in a few months we can talk about it again, and I can tell you after having some time to reflect on everything and after the services. Right now, my priority is laying him to rest. I will have the honor of doing the eulogy, and it's going to be legacy based because he was 23, doesn't leave kids behind, doesn't have a wife, doesn't have a business, doesn't have anything he left behind. What he did leave behind is a lot of memory, a lot of impact on people. And my goal will be that his funeral is the day that other people that are there decide to recommit or commit themselves to the Lord, and they understand how important their faith is.
Start
So
day one.
yeah, so I'm gonna give a banger of a eulogy. I've been working on it already. It's gonna be good. So I'm excited to make him proud and do it in legacy of him. It's not about me, it's about him. So
Well, let's kind of go here. What do you think in the conversation of legacy, right? What do you think? Like, we have here some questions, right? Like, what do you think your life what do you want your life to represent? If your time was shorter than you thought, what would people say you were chasing?
Well, I think a lot of times people think legacy is what you've accomplished. They think it's the things you've done, the businesses you've started, providing for other people, the houses, cars, how people know you. I think that's what people think legacy is. To me, legacy is truly, what impression did you have on people? Did you lead people to faith?
Mhm.
Did you lead people to fitness? Did you lead people in their marriages, in their life? Like, you can't be perfect at everything. I know for me personally, my relationship and my marriage, I struggle because I didn't have a foundation that I knew how to be a husband. So I'm still learning how to be a husband and I fail all the time. But my legacy is that my son can be the husband that I never am. And my wife can have the husband that she deserves that I never was. To me, that's the legacy that I'm trying to leave behind, where all the people like, yeah, that crazy guy, I walked with him, I worked out with him, I knew him at the gym. I want them to say, like, that dude always showed up. He always showed up. He was who he says he was. He taught me this, he taught me that. Even this week, I was at the gym on Tuesday, and again, it's been a weird week for me. And this dude was working out, and he came up and he's like, "Can I talk to you?" I'm like, "What's up, man?" Like, I don't know him. He's like, "2 years ago, you helped me on my bench press, and you showed me some things. He's like, I've stuck with it. Like, I've done it. I just want to tell you thank you." I'm like, "Yeah, for sure, bro." Like, to me, it ain't shit because I do that all day, every day. Like, I don't even know the guy's name, and I didn't even do it to like get anything out of it. That's just who I am and the demeanor I am. So it just more reminders of me living the right way. And to me, legacy is not about what you've done; it's about who you are, what you stand for. So
Mhm.
I'll have a hell of a legacy. I just don't want to be the person to tell the story. I want my kids and my friends and my family. I want them to be the ones that tell the stories about me because they're gonna be some good ones, some funny ones too, for
Yeah.
sure.
No, for sure. I think that's you hit it spot on. It's the impact you left on other people. It's the impact you, not even just the people you know, right?
Nah, it's easy.
Because
It's
it's easy to
easy.
do that.
It's easy.
But it's the people you don't know.
Right.
It's the people who are watching from the outside, right? They're like, I don't know that guy, but I
Right.
know that guy. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because
Right.
he's
You give them faith and hope,
yeah.
even if it's, man, because of you, man, I went back to church. Whoo, that's I've heard that, and
Yeah, yeah.
I'm with that. I'm like, bet, like,
Living proof of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And it's never, oh, you don't owe me nothing.
No.
For me now, it's like, why the hell aren't you at church? That's me being loving and saying, man, I'm so glad I brought you to church and you found the Lord, and I want to walk in this faith journey with you. I don't talk like that. I say, get your ass to church. Why'd you miss? That's just my way of my
No, for
personality. But
sure.
what I mean is the loving, fun way of like, keep your relationship strong, keep your faith strong, brother. Like, politically, I should be like that, but instead, I know how to be me.
I think I mean it's only right to end this with the call to action. You
Yeah.
know, with life being short, I think there's a few things that we need to call right, and it's really make people think on who's that person you need to call,
Mm,
and it may not even to make it right, but just have that conversation,
yeah.
and not for you. I mean, not for that person, but do it for you. Make sure you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
you make your amends because like we had a talk on the conversation or on the walk this morning. And it's like, well, I'm mad at my uncle. Well, why are you mad? Well, because X, Y, and Z. Okay, but why are you mad at him?
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know.
You don't,
You know what I
because
mean?
time has passed. So much time has passed. You forget the argument. You forget why you don't like someone, why you're mad at somebody, and then you really sit down and remember, like, wait, what are we mad about again? And even if you do remember, what volume does it hold? What weight does it
Is it
hold? It doesn't
petty?
hold the same
Yeah.
pain it did when it happened. So why are you hanging on to it? If they pass away, you got to live with, dang, like, I hope they know I loved them. Well, come on now, like, we're at a point where you have that chance. We may never see eye to eye. We may never hang out again. You may hate me still. You may not like me, but just know that I'm sorry for whatever I did, and I wish you nothing but the best. And that's what I hope, that whoever listens to this knows my brother's story, knows my life, follows us, and wants to know anything about me or who we are. Just make it right. Say you're sorry, even if you're not. Go to church. I don't give a shit what church you go to. Make it happen. Build that relationship.
Relationship.
Get in shape. Be proud of yourself. Honor the body that God gave you. Because when all's said and done, you'll get to heaven and you'll be able to be flawless. So for right now, let's work on those flaws. You're never going to fix them all. We're still going to sin every second of the day, but at least live a better intentional life. fuck the money, all the stuff that we think we're chasing that's going to give us affirmation of life. Like, it's obvious you can't take the money with you, you know? So that's how I feel. And there's two verses that my brother had in his bio on Instagram that I've been reading every day, and I want to share with you guys. First one is Luke 4:18. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and recovery of sight for the blind, to set the oppressed free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. I wondered why he did that. I'm like, why that one? You know, why that one? But you think
It's
about
a
him.
very common one.
You think about him and you're like, wait, preach good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners. That was Devin. Devin, people would tell him all the time, you're not hanging out the right crowd. You're not around people. He's like, no, they're good guys. Like, he saw the good in the bad. There was a shooting at that same trailer a week before. He knew that. People told him, don't go. No, I'll be good. Because he didn't think that was going to be the situation he was going to be in, because he didn't have a gun. He wasn't shooting a gun. And I'm like, dude, that verse that you had in your bio was literally how you lived your life. Like, you didn't think about who you were around. You felt like you could shine the light on anybody that you came in contact with. No mistake. The other one, John 3:16, which we all have heard many times. For God so loved the world, that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. Sounds like someone who knew they were looking forward to heaven versus this world.
Yeah.
You know, like he wasn't worried about this life. Hey, can I figure it out here? Can I make my brother proud? Can I make the people around me proud? Can I make some more money? Even the whole, like, I make a rack a week. Like, I was laughing because I'm like, bro, that doesn't matter to me. I don't care what you make. It was just like, I want to make the people proud here, but I really want to go to heaven. Like, if I'm called, I guaranteed if you asked him, like, if you were called, would you answer? He'd be like, yeah, I'm down. Like, sure. Like, what do I have here? What is it here that is of the riches, when heaven and God is where everything is, you know? So two verses that those are in his bio that I've been reading, and I've just been thinking about. I wonder what he was thinking about, why, when he put those, because the first one isn't, Luke 4:18 isn't one that
It's not like
no,
very
no,
honestly. I don't hear people be like, yeah, Luke 4:18 was my favorite,
right,
you know, but
right.
just hearing your brother and you know,
Mhm.
that fits him for sure.
Yeah. So,
You have anything to close with?
not really, nothing in a banger line,
Yeah.
other than, please everybody pray for my mom, pray for his dad, pray for the family. A lot of them aren't sure how to feel. I don't think a lot of them's faith as strong as it should and could be. Be there for them. Understand that nobody's life should be taken innocently. I will be a better son. I will be a better brother, a better husband, a better dad, a better friend. I promise you that I will work on all the things I need to do in life. But just pray for my family. I hope there's justice in all of this. I hope that there's a life saved, because one cannot be bringing back. But just trust in God, man. That's it. Nothing crazy for me, you know.
Yeah. No, I again, my condolences to you and your family, and you know, we talked about it before, but you know, just hopefully someone is saved from this.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, from the Bible verses, it seemed like your brother was.
Yep.
He knew, you know, he
Yep.
was he was good and ready, and I think the only way really to close this out is, you know, your time is now.
Yep.
Time is to surrender. Day one's today. Really, what are you waiting for?
For sure.
What are you waiting for? You got to do it. No one's gonna do it for you but you. You can ask for anyone to save you. You know, you can pray all you want, but if you don't put the action behind it,
For
ain't
sure.
nothing gonna happen. So, what are you waiting for?
For sure. That's it for me, man.
We are chosen to change. You have the opportunity to change. See you guys next week.